So this week I'm going to talk about a spectrogram, which captured the acoustic energy produced by someone saying the sentence, "Say, bite again." I'm going to talk a little bit about the acoustic qualities that are represented by the spectrogram and explain why those acoustic qualities would show up based on how we are producing these sounds or how the speaker was producing those sounds. So we know that the S sound begins here because S is a voiceless fricative. So there should be no voicing bar here, which would be indicated by acoustic energy at a low frequency. So there's no vocal fold activity indicated here. And we also know that S is going to be one of the loudest, it's going to be the loudest voiceless fricative. And when we create a fricative, we're creating a narrow constriction using our articulators. In the case of the S, it's the tongue coming up to meet that ridge behind the upper teeth. And we channel air through that narrow constriction, which gives us turbulence and gives us random aperiodic noise. Because we know that the S is louder than f and f, we expect to see great amplification of the highest frequencies. So in addition to the absence of a voicing bar, we see the amplification of high frequency noises here, and we also might be able to see some random aperiodicity here in the concentration of the waveforms and shape. Then the next sound is a vowel sound, A, and we know that vowel sounds, their sound source is phonation, so we need to see indication of vocal fold activity. And we see that here with this voicing bar. So we know that the vocal, this A sound continues for the duration of this voicing bar, and we will also see these clear formant bands for a vowel, which indicate the resonatory quality of a vowel in the vocal tract, and these are going to be really rich in harmonics, so that's why we get that dark amplification. When we see the break in voicing, we know that the word has ended, and then we see this pickup of voicing right here in anticipation of this voiced stop, which is the B sound. So when we create the B sound, we need to set the vocal folds into vibration, so we do that here, and then we close off the oral cavity with our lips, so we have that lip seal, and that's when oral pressure has the chance to be built up. Because the lips are sealed, the spectrogram stops picking up acoustic energy at this point, so that's that stop gap. Once the lips release and let out the acoustic energy for the burst, that B sound, that's where acoustic energy picks back up. So we get that B sound. And immediately following is the I vowel, and that's why we see those formant bands here. There's also articulation when the tongue is moving from the B position to the I position, and as a result, we see a curved pattern of the formants because the tongue frontness and backness indicates, or it affects the frequency of the formant. So we see the articulation there, and the voicing continues for the vowel, so that's the vowel with those formant bands, and then the voicing ends here because we're preparing for a voiceless stop. So the voicing ends, and there's also no acoustic energy because, again, there's a block which will allow intraoral pressure to be built up, and then a release here for the T sound. We also know that since it's a voiceless stop, the vocal folds are going to be abducted, meaning that there might be some aspiration quality, so we might see that here. There's no voicing here because there's a gap between the words, and then voicing picks up here for the A sound, the vowel. Again, because we need voicing for a vowel. We'll also see those formant bands here, and then voicing continues, but there's a drop in acoustic energy up here as the vowel ends, and we prepare for that G stop. So there's a stop gap, the burst release, and then the vowel sound follows immediately with these formant bands, and we'll also see a curved formant pattern due to the co-articulation of the G and E sounds. Finally, we have the nasal, and because of the opening of the velopharyngeal port and the dampening of sound when passing through the nasal passage, we'll see a nasal murmur indicated by these anti-resonance areas, which are lightening of the formants.